Hello, and welcome back to another stamp sorting video. This is Stamps from Great Gramps, and thanks for being here. As you can probably already tell, today we're going to be sorting through a bunch of Espana stamps that hail from Spain. If you want to see the stamps that we've already sorted through and cataloged up to this point, I would encourage you to go check out the shorts on this channel. This is primarily a shorts channel anyways. But if you want to see specifically what pile these Spain stamps came out of, that's kind of a mouthful. If you want to see the pile of stamps we already sorted through, world stamps, I would suggest you go check out my other stamp sorting long content video. And yeah, with all that in mind, let's just get right into it. Since you can already tell I've started. And I will say the age range for most of these are probably going to be like between the 40s and the 60s. But I have gotten lucky before, and I found stamps from 1881 as the earliest. And then the latest is probably around I'd say 1979. Excuse me. 1979, the latest, with the exception of some Elvis stamps that I can't imagine who would have added it to the collection, considering my great-grandfather passed away long before those Elvis stamps ever even came out. So I know for a fact he was not the one that added those Elvis stamps. So that part's a mystery. But yeah, mostly between, I'd say, 1880 and 1979. But I would love to be proven wrong. You know, if you can give me an 1880 stamp out of this pile, I'd be happy. 20. Oh, that's a different art style. I was about to match this guy with this guy. Not even close. Here's a little pair. Right on the top. That's nice. I'm going to put you below that other one. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm not trying to clear my throat in your ear. I do apologize. And you can already tell this one's a very common art style. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of those. That's a cool looking one. I like any stamp that has a bunch of detail on it. Tiny little details. It's a beautiful stamp. We'll put you next to the other architecture. This one looks really old. Here, we'll get this one first. This is architecture. I like the color usage on this one. It's like purple and red. That's a very pretty stamp. Look at that. Almost like mesmerizing. Alright, go next to the other purple-red one. Let's look at this one. That looks very old. That might be a 1800 stamp right there. Española. It is a Spanish stamp. I don't think that's cardboard. It might be cardboard. This might be a cutout. Notice that there's no perforations on it. Either it's a really old stamp or he cut it out of like a newspaper or like a magazine. So that might not be authentic. I'm going to put that one aside for further research. I'll do a Google image search on that one, and if it comes up similar, then we'll know. And yeah, usually this process, I do this much quicker when I'm by myself, but since you guys are with me, I'll try and show these guys off a little bit. Move that up. Make room for him. And I'm sure you can already tell, if you are a stamp collector, most of these stamps are pretty common. I would say this one especially. Look at that giant pile. I would say the odds that these are already at my house, most of these are going to be common to begin with. Like, if I have one stamp, I'm just going to assume that it's common until I go into the Scott catalog book and see for sure. But, yeah, if I have one, it's common. If I have more than one, it's very common. That's my grading scale. I don't ever assume that any of these guys are rare. And also that way, I'm never disappointed. Because if you're new to stamp collecting, maybe you just inherited a collection or something, you can look at all these stamps and be like, wow, that thing's from 1930, that's got to be worth a crap ton of money. And then you look on eBay last sold, and it sold for 20 cents. Like at auction too. Like, like, oh, okay. So, yeah. Rule of thumb, I would say, if in the Scott catalog it says that it's worth like 25 cents, I'd say realistically the resale value of that stamp is probably only like a penny or two. So like if it says it's worth $1, it's probably only worth like 10 cents if you're actually trying to resell it. But I'm not trying to sell any of these stamps. These stamps are not for sale. These are going to stay with me until I have a kid to give them to. These are an inherited collection. I'm going to pass it along, you know. Like a family time capsule kind of thing. And sadly, before I could even start collecting my own stamps, I need to go through and see what great-grandpa had in the first place, you know? See what we're working with. Or at least that's what I tell myself. That one's kind of nice. That still has the little thing on. Little page hanger. That's cool. It's been used, but that's still cool. I would say most, if not all, in this pile have been used already. Light cancel on that. Ooh. That's kind of a cool one. Oh, see, it already has a thing on it. Already has the number on it. Yeah, I got lucky with some of these. My great-grandpa has Scott catalog numbers written on most of them. I wouldn't say most of them. Some of them. I'm not that lucky. I wish I were that lucky. Here, I'll move these guys down because I see a 70 to go in between that 50 and the 80. And this is why I'm using the tissue paper underneath here, so I can easily like scoop up a stamp underneath. And also it hides the hideous scratches in my wooden table underneath. My embarrassing deep scratches in this table. Well, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you're new, if this is the first time you're finding my channel, go ahead and hit that like button or subscribe. Because I'm going to be doing this for a while. Oh gosh. He has so many boxes. So many boxes of stamps. All these stamps from the sorting videos on my channel, they all came out of one shoebox. All the world stamps, they all came out of one shoebox. So far, I've only gone through... I'm only dealing with two boxes out of like 45 boxes. I'm going to be posting stamp videos until I'm 80. It's crazy. I won't even know fully what he has in his collection, you know, until it's time for me to pass on the collection. Crap. He went hard in stamp collecting. which makes sense, honestly. If you spend, 40 years of your life collecting stamps, it should take the next person about that long to find out what he collected, This is a 40-year accumulative collection that I'm trying to show through YouTube. I'm trying to show millions and millions of stamps. It's going to take me forever. I'm losing my mind. But it's very satisfying. Very entertaining. Beats the heck out of Fortnite. Also, you kind of, I shouldn't say you, I kind of feel like Indiana Jones going through these stamps sometimes. Like curator of history, I have to protect these stamps. And speaking of protecting stamps, if you don't have any stamp tongs of your own, I'll probably leave a link in the description so you can pick up your own pair. These are very, very helpful to me. I try my hardest, my absolute hardest, not to touch a single one of these stamps, because the oil from my fingertips, I might not be able to see it now, but 30 years from now, someone will be able to tell that I just ate French fries or something, Like, oh my gosh. I would hate for these stamps to survive from 1880 just to make it to my house and then get ruined by me just because I couldn't, grab me a pair of tongs real quick. So, yeah, I try really hard not to. I try really hard not to touch any of these. Also, if there's an 1880 stamp, an older stamp, I would think just because, the age of the paper, any sort of liquid that you get on that 1880 stamp is quickly going to absorb, and it'll show right through. So yeah, kind of makes me nervous dealing with these older stamps, but we're getting through it. Here's another pair. Found a pair earlier, so that's cool. I have a vertical pair and a horizontal pair. Nice. Curled one. I'm going to put the curled ones kind of on their own pile. I don't want to mess with the curled ones. And also, if I find any that are stuck together, it's pretty common to find ones that are stuck together. I don't try to rip those ones apart. I'll just leave them stuck together and put them in their own sheet. Oh, also, if you want to see kind of a cheap, low-budget stamp collector sheet that you can make on your own, I have a short for it. You can see what I'm using for these guys. Oh, there's another pair. Look at that. A whole bunch of pairs in this pile. Very nice. There's no room to put it over there. I'll just put it like next to it. But yeah, as you can tell, this art style, this design, that dude's face, very common one for Spain. I bet this pile is more than half just that one dude's face. I wish I could tell you who it was, but I haven't looked these up in the Scott catalog yet, so I have no clue. And I'll probably leave a link for the S version of the Scott catalog, so if you do have any Spanish stamps of your own, you can look them up. But really, the Scott catalog, I'd say the Scott catalogs are only if you have a lot of stamps to go through. If you only have 10, 15 stamps to go through at a time, you can Google image search most of those, and it won't take you forever. But the Scott catalog, if I didn't have that Scott catalog, I'd be in a world of hurt. I know there's like programs on the internet you can download and buy and whatever, but just making a YouTube channel so I can have everything physically in a video in front of me is worth its weight in gold, honestly. It's kind of the inspiration for this YouTube video, so I can just have everything videotaped, so I have my own collection on camera. But if you think any of the stuff in this video would be helpful to you, by all means use my affiliate link. They are Amazon affiliate links. I do, in the spirit of transparency, I do make a small commission. You know, I'm not going to retire anytime soon, but I do make a small commission. They are my affiliate links. They take you straight to Amazon, where you can buy these for yourself. Or if you want a handy little magnifying glass with a light built in, that light being built in, that is worth its weight in gold. Not having to hold a flashlight or like position a flashlight next to you while you got your hands full. It's great. 2 in 1, you know. One less thing you gotta hold. I love it. I use it every day. Literally. Another common one. But yeah, if you think these are helpful, check them out. The link's in the description. I'm not trying to make this video sound super selly, so I'll just leave it at that. But I am an affiliate marketer. That is my day job. So I just figured I'd mention it. But no worries if you're not interested. The beautiful thing about being a stamp collector, your own collection, is you are the curator of your own collection. You can handle your stamps however you want to. So I'm not trying to tell you how to do something, I'm just telling you how I do it. Fair? Okay. Cabo Verde. That is not a Spanish one. I should put that. I'll put that next to the other Cabo. Cabo Verde is its own thing. That one was sorted into the wrong pile. And I notice, does that one look red compared to this one? Like, those look the same, but is that faded, you think? Some of these look red, some of these look orange. I can't tell if that's because they're faded with age or if there's actually a red one and an orange one. Ha! A red one and an orange one. No pun intended. Because they're ones, get it? Yeah. I didn't do that on purpose. I'm not that creative. Oh, there's an old looking one. Three Musketeers, what's up? That's cool. I kind of wish people still dressed like that. Honestly. We don't have this one yet. That's a new design. Hard to see over the cancel on that one. Pretty heavy cancel. 25. Yeah, all of these are just that dude. Oh. Found a 20. That's a new one. We had a 15 and a 25. Didn't have a 20. Oh, 40. 2 40s. This is... Once the table starts getting full, it starts to kind of feel like I'm playing Operation here. And then once I have them all sorted, then it becomes kind of like playing match game. That is a very beautiful stamp. Look at all those tiny details. Here, let me move my stamp tongs. Look at that building. All the tiny little details in the background. Like you can see the building through the net. What a gorgeous stamp. I mean that. That is a gorgeous stamp. 3 different colors on it too. Looks like gray, I'd say gray, red, and like maroon. Off purple. Cool. Well, now let me pick it up. Come on. 80. Okay, so 80 and 1 were popular back in the day. Look at that. You can definitely tell, like, all of these are common stamps, but these guys went crazy on the print. They probably printed millions of these. $60. Do we have a 60? We do not. I gotta move my giant pile over. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that totally feels like Operation. That's an older one, isn't it? Oh, no, it's a 40. We got a few of those. There's a 20. Oh, bumping into stuff. Yeah, I think most of these, that one doesn't look like a Spanish one. That looks sorted wrong. Oh no, Espanol. I was looking at it, it kind of looks like, from afar, it kind of looks like a Morocco stamp. So, okay, cool. You get your own pile. You get your own pile. You get your own pile. Sorry, I've been sorting through so many stamps, I'm starting to lose my mind. There's so many. It's overwhelming. It really is overwhelming. If you've ever inherited a collection, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling of like, oh gosh, where do I even begin?